President Berman, President Safir, Dean Spiegel, Dean-Designate Tomaselli, members of the class of 2018, their family, friends, distinguished guests, members of the faculty, alumni, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to this wondrous occasion as we celebrate this commencement and the 50th anniversary of our 10th graduating MD class. It is a pleasure to see so many people congregated here and having such a great time, I hope. As my first duty, I have the pleasure of introducing to you the distinguished president of Yeshiva University, Rabbi Dr. Ari Berman.
Thank you, Dr. Burns, President Safir, Dean Spiegel, Dean-Designate Tomaselli, Board of Overseers, wonderful faculty, and especially our class of 2018. Congratulations! You have done it. After all of your extraordinary work, those painstaking hours in the lab, you have made it to this day. And you didn't just make it due to your own arduous efforts, but certainly because of the people that surround you. We congratulate the family, the friends, everyone who are here who supported this. Congratulations to you. What a wonderful day, what a wonderful day. You know, the story of how the Albert Einstein School of Medicine received its name is well known. In 1955, when Yeshiva University's second president, Dr. Samuel Belkin, founded this magnificent institution, he approached the greatest Jewish scientist of his day, Dr. Albert Einstein, to secure his blessing and use of his name towards this great enterprise, which would be impartial in its admission policy and stellar in its program to educate the healers of tomorrow. While we know that Albert Einstein accepted, less well known is his original response to this request. That is exactly how he responded. He said, "Why would you come to me?" he asked Dr. Belkin. "There's a greater person than I whose name is more fitting for this new endeavor. You should name the school after the renowned medieval Jewish sage and physician, Maimonides. It should be the Maimonides School of Medicine." Now, we're all very happy that Dr. Belkin persisted and eventually secured Albert Einstein's agreement and his name. In truth, Albert Einstein did have a point. For Maimonides was not just an outstanding physician in his day, but he also established the foundational philosophy that runs throughout your training and education over these past number of years. If one looks back at the historical records of the systematic study of medicine among the Greeks and later the Romans, one is immediately struck by the poor outcomes classical medicine expected. All through the ages, from Hippocrates to Galen, the goal of medicine was less about healing and more about staving off death for an interim period. Maimonides, however, approached the task of medicine from a different vantage point. In his meditations of the role of the doctor, he almost never speaks of death. Rather, he extols the virtues of preserving and enriching his patients' lives. This positive Maimonidean vision of the physician's mission, articulated in the 12th century, is especially suited for this world of modern medicine. After all, we live in a rapidly changing world in which cutting-edge research and innovation, as well as advances in standards of care, allow today's doctors to provide quality of care that would have been unimaginable to our ancestors. And this change should also change how healthcare professionals conceive of their work. allow me to illustrate with one very personal example. Yesterday, an older woman passed away. She was, by all estimates, 108 years old. She was a Holocaust survivor, born in Poland, who was forced to flee and live in the woods during the war that took most of her family. She restarted her life with her husband in Cuba, and then after rebuilding their lives, the family was faced once again with another threat to their survival with the rise of Castro. Again, they left everything behind to begin their life anew, this time with their teenage daughter in New York City. She raised a beautiful family, was blessed with grandchildren and great-grandchildren who knew her and loved her deeply. This woman was my grandmother, and her funeral was this morning. And I came here this afternoon with a message from her life. When she needed a medical procedure in her mid-80s, she came to Montefiore Hospital. And when she chose a doctor, he was one who was affiliated with Montefiore. For in this system, she found medical professionals who were not only experts in their field and current in their practices, but were also warm, kind, and caring. They did not just treat the illness, but the patient. And think about the results. How many precious extra moments over the last several years did we have with our Bubby because of their efforts? How many additional minutes, hours, days, and years did she have to inspire her children, grandchildren, great-grandchildren, community, and society through her personal example of heroism, resilience, faith, and courage? All that was enabled in part through her incredible spirit, in part, I assume, through genetics, but also because of the quality medical care she consistently received. And when all is said and done, that is the physician's purpose and the goal of a scientist, the goal of research. You shoulder the burden of treating the sick, curing the infirm, and advancing our spheres of knowledge, not as an end in and of itself, but because through doing so, you enable your patients to write 1, 2, or 3 more chapters in their story. You allow society to grow richer through the contributions of these who otherwise might not have been able to make this. Through your Herculean, or more appropriately, your Maimonidean efforts, you help people like my Bubby bring more meaning and life into this world. This is the kind of education you have received at Einstein. And this sort of education and training does not come through coincidence, but with great intentionality, dedication, and care by the leadership of this institution. And I want to take a moment to offer our collective thanks. First of all, to our excellent outgoing dean, Dr. Alan Spiegel. His incredible work has brought Einstein to the great level that it is today. I'd like to thank the Board of Overseers for their enormous dedication, led by Mr. Roger Einiger. And of course, all the entire staff, the professionals, the doctors of Einstein and Montefiore, who are so crucial to your education that led you to this point today. Thank you. As Albert Einstein College of Medicine continues to grow in its evolutionary trajectory and moves into its new phase of development, I, as a successor of Dr. Belkin, look forward to working closely with Dr. Steve Saffer, the president of Montefiore, and Dean-designate Dr. Gordon Tomaselli, and wish him a great success in his incoming very shortly into our community and family. To you, our graduates, who will always carry with you both the great name of Albert Einstein together with a Maimonidean spirit, I offer congratulations as you reach this important milestone in your life. This is truly a celebration for you, your families, and all of society. We are so happy at this moment because we know that this is just the beginning of wonderful things to come. Congratulations.